Hello, and how's it going? I'm making this video to give my experience with CDbaby and hopefully answer some other people's questions, or maybe give them some insight on how this works. You know, you may have options, you may have questions, and you maybe just want to know what it's like to use CDbaby's services to release your project or your music or your client's music, etc. So I used their services 6 months ago to release my first album. It was pretty good. They released it to the main people, being, Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, YouTube, Deezer, Facebook. I still don't know where it went on Facebook. I still haven't found it. Google Play, and many of their other distribution partners, which if you want to scroll through, they have the list there. Probably the most noticeable out of their list of distribution partners, because it has changed since 2018, which was when I used them. I forgot who it was, but it was there are three that left and they added a new one. I don't remember who it was, but they also will release your music in India if that's something you're looking to doing, or if you have a client or your group, or you're a musician and you want to get your stuff into like Bollywood, or anything in India. Say you do spiritual music or something, they do have Savan. I don't know how to pronounce it. And then for Japanese music, other than Spotify, they do have AWA, which covers Japanese radio stations. They have Tidal and other stuff like that. So you can't go wrong with most of them, because they all really have the same partners. But for CDbaby, at the time when I was doing my research, their pricing was one thing that caught my eye, because it was a one-time fee. I went with a pro membership. It was a little bit over like $150 somewhere. It was under $200, I remember, but for worldwide, with everything that they had to offer, I thought it was a good price. I only had to pay one fee, permanently, just one fee, and just collect royalties, where a lot of their competitors last year and before then, you had to pay like annually or semi-annually to keep your music uploaded, to, let's say, Spotify. You had to pay a certain amount per year just to keep your music out on the internet. So I thought that was pretty jank, so I just went with the one-time fee. They do work with ASCAP, BMI, all that stuff. You have to have a membership with ASCAP or BMI or one of the other royalty houses before you can get everything done. Or if you already have one, I shouldn't say that, because they also will make an account for you. But if you already have one, it just makes things go by faster. Sorry about that. But yeah, they will make an account for you, but then you'll have to go in and do all the personal information yourself. But if you already have an ASCAP or BMI, it just makes things go by a lot faster when they submit your library and your information and all that stuff, because ASCAP and BMI are also now collecting royalties internationally. They started that last year, if you didn't know, so you don't have to rely on your distribution company to collect your royalties internationally. They will do it too. But yeah, CDbaby also does sync licensing. So like if you want to get your music into TV shows, movies, commercials, all that stuff. YouTube monetization, it goes further than YouTube monetization. They just say YouTube for, just because everybody knows it. But if your music is played on, like, let's say Twitch, like someone streaming your music while, playing your music while they're streaming a video game, or something like that, then they'll register that too. They also do CDs and vinyls. So if you have a record player, you could have a vinyl made, but vinyls are still in. I know Target still sells them, and there is a growing like fan base for people who want to still hold vinyls and still treasure record players and stuff. So that is an option. You do have to pay extra for CDs and vinyls to be distributed physically, but that is an option. And of course they do digital distribution and publishing administration for if you're performing live and stuff like that. Other than that, I'm gonna skip that because that really didn't help me at all. I would say their podcast, their do-it-yourself musician podcast and blog, great, top-notch, thumbs up all around. It taught me so much when I was just starting out and trying to get information and trying to learn about stuff. Click the wrong tab. They have over 200 episodes, which is about stuff that you want to know, like I was saying, like just what I was saying a moment ago about like live streaming experience, getting your music out there, or how to build your list, how to grow your audience, what to do as a producer, how you should format your music, what to do when going on tour, how to get your music into playlists and radio stations, or like Sirius XM radio stations. They have like a bunch of different episodes from two really great guys. I forgot their name, but they give you so much information, so much quality inside information, that even if you're not using CDbaby, it'd still be great to listen to their DIY podcast. Like, no joke. But other than that, that's pretty much it. From what they offered, they were really solid. I would say their technical support was pretty cool. It was like artists that are with CDbaby that answer your questions, and if it's more technical, they'll send it to tech support and they'll answer your questions from there. But for the most part, I actually enjoyed talking to their customer service, because for their customer service to be actual musicians, and for me being a new artist releasing my music professionally on my own for the first time, getting all their insight, like things to watch out for, things to keep in mind, tips before releasing music, format, release dates and strategy and stuff like that, stuff that you would normally forget about, because you're so focused on getting the project done, making sure it sounds right, maybe promoting it, getting your growing your audience and stuff like that. They remind you of like the little things that you need to get done, or at least make sure that are done right, so that way you don't have issues down the road. So I really appreciated them and their insight and their knowledge, their wisdom. For me, my results, because of course results may vary, but my results were pretty good. I didn't get a chance to really do a lot of good marketing. I didn't want to try their marketing and such, which is why I skipped that area, because their marketing tools need improvement, I would say. Like having a website on their, like having your own page on their website and having your own spot in their own personal store was cool, but it's like, how much traffic really comes through there? And I don't want to be sending people to cdbaby.com/my artist name, all that stuff. Like, that's what my social media is for. That's what my Twitch, my Twitter, my Instagram, my YouTube, my Facebook, all that stuff. That's what that's for. People, growing my audience, letting people find me there. That's where I'm going to find more traffic, not sending people to CDbaby's website. No, no harsh words or disrespect to them, but it just didn't feel like it was organic, and it didn't feel like they were really trying to help me on that part. Also, their analytics to me were just really, really weird, which is why, like, I have this pulled up, because they only cover 3 stores, and that's Spotify, Apple Music, and iTunes, and they don't even give you really all that much detailed information. Plus, Apple Music and iTunes are pretty much the same store, so you're really only getting 2 stores of analytics. And for Spotify has their own app for your phone, which is Spotify for Artists, which gives you way more detailed information than CDbaby does. CDbaby gives you pretty much like generic stuff, like just how many plays your music got on Spotify, let's say, like total streams in a week or in a month, and when it dipped or when it raised, stuff like that. But it's like, I need way more in-depth analytics and numbers. Like, I need to know stuff like how much my music is being played overall, where is it going, what playlist is it in, what artist am I being compared to, or what other music am I being compared to, where do I fit in my genre, stuff like that. Like, I want to know actual analytics so that when I'm working on my project, or if I was blessed with being able to sing or rap, or being able to be like a recording type artist, I would like to know where to go on tour, or where to go and do live performances, or who I should probably market towards, or stuff like that, stuff for actual marketing, branding, growing your audience and stuff like that. They don't really give you that information. It's kind of just like, oh, you got 5 plays from someone who lives in Texas. It's like, okay, cool, awesome. You got 1 play from somebody who lives in Los Angeles. Okay, cool. It's like that. So it's like, okay, great, but I need more than that. So I think they kind of need to like revamp that department, because for them to have a lot of partners, let's say like Google Play and Pandora, I get decent plays from Google Play. I will never know the actual numbers because I can't get the actual numbers. Like I will see transactions, like you're receiving this amount of royalties from Google Play for this many plays or for this many streams, and it's like, okay, cool, but how many times did they listen to my music, or what were they listening to? What were they listening to it with? Was it in another station? Was it with another artist? What was going on? Like, they don't give you any information. It's just, someone listened to your music on Google Play, here's 1 cent. So it's like, okay, like same thing with Pandora. Like, they only tell you about Spotify and Apple Music and iTunes. So even with all these other areas, you don't get that information, which makes me pretty upset, because with Spotify, even Spotify covers the world, and with Spotify you have to log into, let's say, another region's Spotify account. So let's say you're in America and you want to know how good your sales were or how lacking your sales were in, let's say, Japan. Spotify won't tell you because you have an American account. So you have to make a Japanese account and log in to get your Japanese analytics for what's going on with your music out there, even though it's your music. So like, that's something that bothers me, but that's just a personal thing. Overall, I had a pretty decent experience with CDbaby. They got my music out there. I only had 1 issue overall, and that was with iHeartRadio and 2 other partners that are no longer in their distribution list. CDbaby helped me as much as they could. They tried to resubmit my music to iHeartRadio, but iHeartRadio just didn't accept it. Months later, they tried again. iHeartRadio still didn't accept it. So I don't know what was going on with that, but it was just iHeartRadio not accepting my music. And CDbaby gives you a certain amount of time to respond to them about if your music has been accepted by a certain store or not. And they went beyond to try to get that music placed, because that, I did pay for the service to distribute it to, their partners, and iHeartRadio just had no answer and was not accepting when they tried to contact them about it. So CDbaby had my back on that, and I appreciate it. Other than that, like I said, they really don't help you with marketing or branding or growing your audience. So for me, it was kind of harsh. And like, when they put your music out on YouTube, not YouTube Music, but just YouTube in general, they give you this auto-generated like page, and that kind of made me upset, because I didn't even know it was here. I didn't know my music was here until way later, because I set my music to release November 30th, and this auto-generated page was made November 22nd without me being notified. So like, I could have used this playlist of my music to push it out there, but by the time I found it and posted it, which was this month, it's barely getting any views. So like, that kind of was a downer for me. They didn't do any like social media blast. The videos look blah. The information is just generic. It doesn't have like, follow me here or any of my links. I can't edit this because I didn't create it. So like I can't add my social media links or anything like that. It's just an auto-generated channel with auto-generated uploads that I don't know if CDbaby has information to edit it or not, because they never responded to that when I tried to contact technical support. But yeah, that's what you get, like just an auto-generated playlist on an auto-generated channel with not even your album art as the cover art or anything. Like it's just random. Like I said, despite all that, I did have a pretty good, in my opinion, 6 months. I had probably like 45 now, maybe 46,000 streams at this moment, which was, like I said, pretty good. They did try to place my music in Spotify playlist, which was cool. For the first month, I actually had some decent plays. So like my first month, I had like a little under 1,000. There was like 5 tracks that were really popular, and then one track just took off. It just had like 5,000 in the first month, and then after a couple months, like 2-3 months, it jumped up to 10,000, and the rest of my music, like 10 out of 12 tracks, were all over 1,000. And that's all I know from Spotify. So I don't even know about like Google Play, like all their other partners. Like I said, their analytics suck. It only tells you, Spotify. But, for out of all these, I don't know how many distribution partners they have. I only know about Spotify. So that might be a deterrent for you if you're really into analytics and trying to grow yourself, or your band or your group, or whoever you're working with, or if you're doing it yourself. That might be a deterrent. But yeah, that's pretty much all you really get. And that was kind of sad. Like they also don't try to push your music into commercials, or like try to get them placed into commercials, TV shows, or like, playlists for like Twitch or something for streamers. Like you have your sync license, but they don't really tell you what to do with it. So it's like, where do I send that music, or how do I direct people to that music? How do I get someone like a director or a like a director or a lead composer or someone on a project to buy that sync license for my music from CDbaby to have it in a project? Or even if someone else like wants to pay me, how do I refer them? Like that information is not given. So those are like the downers about CDbaby. But they're really good if you're like a do-it-yourself kind of person, or if you're a manager for a group and you're doing everything yourself. You just need their music distributed, and it's a pretty reasonable fee for the pricing. Other than that, you don't really get any good communication. If you don't talk to them, they won't contact you at all. And if you do contact them about something that they can't handle, then that's just kind of it. They just can't handle it. So that's about it from me. I hope that answers your questions, or at least gives you a better idea from using CDbaby. Like I said, pluses earlier were like one-time fee, good list of distribution partners from the stores. If you want to get your music into Bollywood or like something like that, they're the only place I've seen that has the Savan or however it's pronounced. I'm sorry for butchering it. Yeah, them. They're the only distributor I've seen that has India as a distribution area for their music, or for your music. Their DIY podcast, like I said, amazing. Even if you're not a CDbaby artist and you have questions, like I would definitely go and watch theirs. Oh, they're at 232 now. I would definitely go and listen and watch and participate in their blog and stuff. They also do have a what was it? Yeah, a conference. They have a conference where you can go and meet other people and ask questions, get answers, maybe network, partner up, and stuff like that. Some good pluses there, some negatives, just communication, their marketing, their social media, stuff like that. Like that's where I think they really fall off, and I think that probably their competitors are better than that, but maybe they might not offer the same, you know, help, I would say, because CDbaby does have a lot of experience with a lot of its musicians. So yeah, I guess it'd be a trade-off. I don't know, but however it is, like I said, I hope that answers, or at least gives you some answers or some guidance. I'm gonna try to keep making more videos for other people. You know, maybe my insight or my experience might help you with your decisions, or maybe help give you some more information to narrowing down things, or maybe even just give you some information to just have. But yeah, that's it for me. I'm going to try to make more videos in the next coming days about just new artist stuff and what to think about, what to look for. I hope this video wasn't too long. Either way, I will see you in the next one. Peace.